After a month of training, Dan joined some of the nation's top prospects in the 2010 Under Armour Senior Bowl. Now, by the end of a player's senior football season, NFL coaches and scouts have already seen countless hours of game film and learned all sorts of statistics on each player participating in the upcoming draft. But sometimes they need to actually see the player in action to know if they'll really be a match for their team. That's just one of the purposes of these All-Star games.
At the end of January, 108 of the country's best college senior players traveled to Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl.
Right now, the Senior Bowl is more important than the Combine right now because, it's up first.
This All-Star game allows the players a chance to be scouted by all 32 NFL teams and to work with professional coaches for the very first time. The players are split into two teams based on where they played in college. The North team is coached by the Detroit Lions and the South team coached by the Miami Dolphins. NFL scouts, coaches, general managers, and owners attend this week-long event every year to watch the best of the best compete against each other and to see which players have what it takes to make it to the next level. Last year, 86 Senior Bowl players went on to get drafted and 11 were first-round picks. Dan relies on his agent Todd France to help him navigate through the important week.
He was the guy that my family and I were most comfortable with. And then, one turning point was, I guess Todd visited me one time when my little girl was over. And she kind of walked up and she let him hold me. I think my little girl, who was 1 year old, was comfortable enough for somebody beside her dad to pick her up. I said he should be a good guy.
You have to have the business part, there's no question about it. Otherwise, they would just sign with their friends. But I think a player can get the best of both worlds if they have an agent that they can respect from a business standpoint and have a friendship with, or that he's going to have a comfort factor with the person that he's going to be dealing with as he goes on this journey from January through April. And there's a lot of highs and lows, and there's a lot of craziness with it. So you want to feel like you got a good partner to ride this train with.
Todd's responsible for networking with NFL teams during the week, getting them to know Dan as a player both on and off the field. He also schedules short meetings between Dan and the different team staffs. Although prepared for how to answer questions, he was overwhelmed by how many people wanted to talk to him.
I always heard stories how different teams, scouts and stuff, will pull you to the side to really talk to you, but after practicing, I think I've been performing well so far. It's been real surprising how much, they want private, little 10, 15-minute meetings. But, I really have been enjoying everything, the whole experience. Meeting different guys from all over the country, and, it's been real exciting.
The Senior Bowl is not a tryout for Dan. It's a long process as he works through the practices during the week and gets his first taste of pro-style football. With each practice, Dan gets another chance to prove himself as a top defensive tackle to NFL staffs.
Nothing's for sure, or they won't even tell me unless, I guess, until draft day. But, that just gives me motivation to just try to practice harder and, really just getting NFL coaching staff, the coaching period, it's an opportunity once in a lifetime.
This year, there was an unprecedented fan turnout at practices, with Florida quarterback Tim Tebow playing in the sold-out game. About 10,000 of these fans got a chance to meet with some of the players the night before the game. But before even entering the Mobile Convention Center, they had to wait in a line so long that it wrapped around the building. Dan talked with fans about the game, handed out commemorative Senior Bowl player cards, smiled for pictures with the few Tennessee fans in attendance, and signed countless autographs. Fans from teams all over the country brought game programs, homemade signs, picture frames, footballs, and helmets to get signed. While showing appreciation for his supporters, Dan's mind was clearly still focused on the upcoming game.
I know I have to do my part and sell Dan wins on the field.
On January 30th, the devoted fans turned up to Ladd Gable Stadium for a rather chilly game day. A large audience and talented competition motivate Dan to challenge himself in the game.
We are great players here. I think the even better players will raise their level of competition and meet the challenge and try to really show out.
In college, Dan was ranked as one of the top defensive tackles in the country, but he mainly played against only other SEC teams. The Senior Bowl allowed him to prove that he would have been a top competitor in any conference.
I knew it was going to be great competition here. This is a good opportunity for me to show them good players that I can still do what I was doing during the season, even against the best.
Although Dan had a solid performance, the North team came up on top with a 31-13 victory. Despite losing, Dan's success earlier in the week at practices and in meetings with NFL teams have greatly raised his stock for the draft.
I mean, I've been enjoying my time here in Mobile. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime experience, and I'm glad just to be invited here to the Senior Bowl. I mean, it's been everything I expected and more.